And so would you say that you have like a history in Vaporwave and such, like beyond Spotify? Like that's not your only platform, right?
Yeah. So before Spotify, again, it kind of was like you had to be somebody to get on it. So I'm like kind of like a first generation, maybe second generation, if you want to call it that, future funk artist.
Right on.
So yeah, Spotify didn't allow indie musicians, and I didn't. Another big thing is too that I never upload to Spotify, and you might see a lot of Vaporwave artists do this. But personally, I just didn't feel right making money off of music that I had sampled.
Right.
Just because I didn't, ethically, I just didn't want to, like, George Benson. I'm such a big fan of him, even though I've sampled him so much that it's like I'm like, George, like, could I pay you? I'd be okay giving you like my $5 out of the $10 I made.
Yeah. You also just don't want Warner Brothers coming after your ass either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of just like a consequence. But just ethically, I think I just wish there was a system in place, and now there is with things like TrackLib. That like I'm, so yeah, that's why maybe my history beyond Spotify, I was making like really good numbers and stuff. Yeah. But I just didn't want to move, I guess, with the times because of the whole copyright thing.
Right.
And ethics, I guess. I'm a little too ethical sometimes. But yeah, not to say that other artists aren't, but that's just how I felt about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so how are you like mostly just reading your music, because you're in that weird pocket where it's like, oh, I don't want to upload it to Spotify, but I still want it to be out there. Like what other platforms were you using?
Yeah, so the big ones were Bandcamp and SoundCloud. If I ever make something where I sample it as like for fun or like as a joke or a little like contest or something, and I can't clear the sample, I always upload to Bandcamp and SoundCloud. And all my newer stuff, again, all the samples are cleared. I either get them through TrackLib or like through sample packs and stuff, whatever it may be.
Right.
And yeah, I just upload those on the Spotify. I guess I upload the ones to like all the modern platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever it may be. And again, what's really cool about that is that the artists get an original cut through the sampling I'm doing, either because I bought the session musician playing live already, so they already got like an upfront payment, I guess, for it. Yeah. Or with TrackLib, like they get recurring revenue. So as the song grows, so does the sample owners. Yeah. They also get a cut. So it's all automatic too, which is really cool.
Nice. So
yeah.
So I mean, since you're like, touching on the topic of, getting your music out there and, making money off of it and selling it, like, how do you like sit there and decide like, this is like about how much like music is worth? Like, this is what I think,
that's a golden question. I'm independent, so I don't really know. I just kind of do the best I can. Yeah. Again, everything I don't clear samples on, just ethically, I've always it's just free. So I will do like pay your own price where it's like, this is free, but if you want to like throw me $2 to like,
as a tip,
as like a tip, but like I definitely don't want to make a living off of like non-cleared music, because I just think both, again, legally that wouldn't be a smart move, but also ethically I wouldn't want to make music off of someone else's music or make money off of someone else's music. But yeah, and then besides that, like, so for digital albums that like haven't been cleared, free, pay your own price, but the ones I have cleared, the sampling isn't free when you clear it. So what I'll usually do is just a standard price, like $1 per song. Right. Because that's just whatever it may be. And then from the album from there, like depending on how many songs on there, usually I just reduce the price depending on how many songs there are. Mm-hmm. And then for physical albums, like if you buy like a cassette or a CD or a vinyl, I usually try to price it around the average price of other physicals. So like what I'll do is I'll go on like Amazon, I'll go on like Amoeba Records, because that's my local like big name record store out here in LA. Yeah. Or what other people in the Vaporwave scene are doing. So, on their personal Bandcamps, because they run labels, so I'm sure they did the price stuff. I just try to stay average as much as I can. Yeah. I'm not a professional, but so usually I'll do like cassettes for like, I don't know, anywhere from like $8 to $15. Depends on the cassettes, how many songs there are, what the process was to make it. CDs for around 15. And then vinyl usually about like 25, 30, just whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still figuring a lot of the stuff out. So like, I got some connects to like help me reduce costs and stuff. But yeah. Nice. I mostly try to sell cassettes and CDs because they are the cheapest to make, but also it's so I can sell them for the less. And really it's like, if you think about it, so one thing that's funny for me is how I measure money, I guess, is like for me, it's like $1 is one Arizona green tea. So it's always like, will this give me as much value as like, if it's $100, 100 Arizona green teas, one a day for 100 days. Is that how much value?
That's a lot of value.
Yeah. Or like, and then after like $5 like cup of coffee, once you get like $1,500 US, I'm thinking like, would a Honda that starts sometimes? You know what I mean?
It might be.
Yeah. So I guess CDs is, I'm like, you know what? I could probably like as long as it would take me to drink or to listen to a CD that's like $15, I could probably drink like 3 cups of coffee. It's about the same level of value, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The longevity of the CD will give me more value than, you know, a cup of coffee. But
right.
And then again, since vinyl is a little bit more expensive, whenever I try to do it, we try to, you know, I guess do it a little bit more special. So that's why the Still Groovy vinyl was like red and had all like the cool artwork and stuff. And there's like secret message on the little inner if you haven't seen it. So yeah, it's just a little like it's not like a, oh my god, super secret, but it's just like,
but it's a secret.
It's a cute little thing.
Yeah.
So we try to do it a little special.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, with all that being said, you know, I mean, like I know you and I, of course, you know, we like in collecting vinyl and, you know, going to record stores and stuff like that. But with like the big prevalence of like Spotify and streaming platforms being out there, do you feel like there's people out there still buying cassettes and CDs and vinyl records and all of that?
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I say yeah, definitely, because I'm the type of person where I'm like, well, I do it, so everyone must do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you do it. I have a lot of friends that do. And I guess if you look at the numbers too, like sometimes I watch like YouTube videos and like music marketing. And they're like, yeah, people still do. So I say they do. But and for me, the reason why I do it is I think there's something special about owning and like supporting the artist. For me, it's more about supporting the artist, and you know, and it's just something special about owning it. And to the idea of special owning something is that I'm a little bit of a collector. Yeah. Like one thing is like anything that makes me feel happy or nostalgic, I'll collect. Like I collect a lot of like Game Boy Advances, right? Game Boy Colors. I have like a modded Game Boy Advance where like does case shell swap, and that's like a Super Nintendo. It has a backlight. Yeah, man. And I have like a bunch of like Japanese Game Boy games I collect. Yeah. I also try to buy albums I stream on Spotify because I know Spotify pays a little. I mean, they pay like it's a whole long story about how Spotify pays. Yeah. But like, you know, I don't know. I'm in a position where I can like support my artists, the artists that I like, a little bit extra. Right. So I'll buy their albums even if I listen on Spotify. And another thing that's nice about streaming too is that the audio quality is like they're trying to save data for you, so they don't stream at the highest quality. So CDs usually have that like super high quality, and then something like analog, like vinyl, like that's just, you know, there is no ones and zeros. It's just sound. So right. It sounds a little bit warmer and stuff if you have good ears. Yeah, you get those vinyl pops too, you know, when you get them on a record. Yeah, and I guess I'm not ranting too much, but like the last like physical thing I bought was Mind Design's Rare Pleasure. Oh yeah. It's like, so they're like an LA beat maker from Philly, but like their last album was really amazing, and it's like a jazz record more than like a hip hop one. Yeah. And what was cool about it is I didn't realize it after I bought it, but like the album, it got shipped to me like a month before it went on Spotify as like a thank you to like buying the physical, and I was like, oh, dope. Like, they never, and at least to my knowledge, they never announced it was going to be a jazz album before it came out. Yeah. So I was expecting like, I'm about to like, you know, boom, 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 and then I was just like, I was just sitting there like, do. Yeah, just so vibing. And I was like, it's like a good jazz album. So like, it was cool to be like, you know, on the inside of that, just because it's like, you know, it's something special about it, and now I'm like, you know, that memory is going to be with me as long as I hold that vinyl. Yeah. I mean, it's always going to be my brain, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. No, and I think that's something really, really cool too that I've noticed a few artists doing in the last couple of years, you know, since like a lot of musicians are moving into, you know, streaming platforms, or a lot of people will listen to their music on like YouTube or Spotify or something like that. It's really cool that artists, you know, that also have that connection to physical releases will like do something to make that record a little extra special, you know, like, you know, where they send it out to like a handful of people, you know, a month before release, or like, you know, if you bought the actual record, you know, you get it before the Spotify drops, you know, so then you can listen to it and be like, ooh, this is like extra special, like because like you mentioned, you know, something about having that physical manifestation of the music in front of you for you to like hold and get up and flip the record or plug in that cassette, like it just makes the music so much more special than just click and play or whatever, you know? Which I mean has its benefits, you know. I like being able to throw my shit into a playlist and everything, but you know, sometimes just throwing on that record just hits different. It's way different. It's way different. And so let's say, you know, you got these records out for sale, you know, you got this merch. Where would I go to, you know, find some of these records, some of this merch? Yeah, for sure. What's it called? So lately I've been doing like some like physicals with Pacific Plaza. Usually they're more like limited run, but I want to give a huge shout out to Alex and them, because like, again, I think I mentioned in the last episode how I like reached out just on a whim, and they've been nothing but like a good friend, but also like a good, like, I guess, musical person to have in my life. In my life is the, you know what I'm trying to say. He's just a cool person, so I want to give a huge shout out to them. But these days, you know, we mentioned too, I like pretty much am building by the time, or it should be out by the time this is done being recorded, my own like Shopify store. So I'll be doing like all types of it's gonna be like Oceanfront-online.com, so like the label that we're doing right now. And I'm gonna be doing my own like shirts, like stickers, CDs, etc. all like ran through me.
Right.
And the plan for this really, again, is kind of like with the Mind Design thing is I want to start doing like more exclusive, like, yeah, like, you know, you were the homie for like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like getting this. So I want to try making it more special and start, you know, what's it called? Release exclusive like digital and physical albums. And one being the Monster Tape series, which I think by then there should be like a single EP type thing out. And, you know, especially for folks that join the mailing list, because like I really want to be able to like, yo, like this is stuff that's going on. It's cool. And like, let me know if you like it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Email's cool. And then, yeah, I want to, but that being said though, even though I'll be doing like our label and stuff, I'll probably still like do stuff with Pacific Plaza because I like the way Alex works. Yeah. It's great working with him. And then, you know, there's something special about the way he makes his records, which I like, you know, compared to other Vaporwave people, especially that I really still enjoy. So I'd say probably keep your eye out on both if you can. And then if you join the mailing list, like you'll definitely know when things are coming out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Keep an eye out on Pacific Plaza regardless because they just the dope homies.
Yeah.
You know?
They're the dope homies for sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah.